Next, let's draw using more drawing tools and more modifiers. Let's say we want to create a 2D circle. Select the Circle Drawing tool. For object type, select 2D surface. Click a point for the center, then click a second point for the radius, and a flat 2D circle is generated. Now let's say we want to create a 2D rectangular wall. Select the second icon for the 2D enclosure object type. Click 2 points and a 2D wall is generated. What if we want to extrude a circle into a cylinder? Select the third object type, which is the 3D extrusion. Draw a circle as before, and the circle is extruded into a solid object. Now let's create a cone using the Polygon tool. Select the fourth icon for the 3D converged object type. Click 2 points for the polygon, and it's extruded to a single point. And for the last modifier, let's say we want a 3D wall. Select the last icon, which is the 3D enclosure object type, and the vector line drawing tool. Draw by clicking 5 points and a 3D wall is generated. Needless to say that any shape, open or closed, could have been drawn. Now that we have learned how to draw some basic shapes, we will move on to the second segment of this tutorial, looking at some other tools to assist you in controlling the cursor location when drawing shapes. This is called snapping. The snapping tools are located in the lower left corner of the Form Z window. The first 3 palettes on the left contain tools other than snapping and will not concern us here. The 4th, 5th, and 6th palettes contain 3 types of snapping tools. The first type, which is the 4th palette, contains 1 tool only, which controls the position of the cursor relative to the reference grid. The tools of the second type, in the 5th palette, snap relative to a direction. The tools of the third type, in the 6th palette, cause the cursor to snap relative parts of other previously drawn objects. We shall do tutorial examples with a number of these snaps. First, we will discuss the grid snap, which makes the cursor snap to a specific interval spacing. Double-click on the Grid Snap tool to invoke its dialog where you can change its snapping distance. For this tutorial, leave it at the default value of 2 feet. Grid Snap is turned on by selecting the Grid Snap icon. With Grid Snap on, draw and extrude a rectangle. While creating the object, observe in the Prompts palette the cursor is snapping to numbers that are round multiples of 2 feet. Click on the Grid Snap tool again to turn it off and create another box. Observe in the Prompts palette that the cursor now moves to arbitrary, non-rounded numbers. It is recommended to have Grid Snap on as often as possible. This typically produces cleaner modeling. For example, 2 boxes created with Grid Snap on can be accurately aligned. 2 boxes created with Grid Snap off will not be aligned, no matter how hard you may try. They may look aligned at a smaller scale, but when you zoom in, you will be able to see that they are not really aligned. Next, we discuss directional snapping, which constrains the input points to a vertical direction, horizontal direction, or diagonal direction. Select OrthoSnap and draw a shape. Observe that the input points are constrained to the horizontal and vertical directions. Select No Direction Snap and draw a shape, which is the default. Observe that the input points can be clicked in any direction. Finally, we will explore object snaps, which allows you to draw objects by referring to parts of other previously created objects, such as endpoint, midpoint, center of face, etc. Select the endpoint object snap. In this example, we use the endpoint snap along with the vector line tool to snap the cursor to the endpoints of a pre-existing object. Observe that the cursor will automatically snap to the reference plane if no object is located inside the cursor snap target box. Select No Object Snap to turn the object snapping off. If you want to cancel a drawing while you are still drawing, hit the Escape key. As we mentioned earlier, you can undo an object after it's created. You can also undo click points when you are drawing a shape. Just select Undo from the Edit pull-down menu or use the key shortcuts Command-Z for Macintosh and Control-Z for Windows at any time while drawing. To delete objects from the scene, Select the Delete tool, which is located in the 16th row of the modeling tools. Then click on a visible edge of the object. To delete many objects from the scene, select the Pick tool, which is located in the 4th row. Select the desired objects. Select the Delete tool and click on any blank area, or hit the Delete key. This concludes the Form Z basic drawing and snapping tutorial.